Hey, what's up guys? Well, I've just about finished with the storage bed project, and I think I could definitely finish by Saturday, but there's really no rush now because it's supposed to rain from Friday until Tuesday. And for the last scenes of the video, when I'm assembling the bed and laying out the mattress or unboxing the mattress, I want there to be a lot of natural light in the room. So I'm just gonna take a little extra time. I'll put that time into editing and make another tip video for anybody who's going to build this project. And this really applies to any project if you're ever building kitchen cabinets, anything. If you're mounting the hardware, that's the last thing you want to do is make a mistake when you're mounting your hardware. So here I have a jig. This represents the front of the drawer, and I've taken a little time and figured out the math so the drawer pull lines up exactly in the center. And then I've taken a block of wood and drilled a hole in it with the drill press. So it's a 90-degree hole. It's a perfect, it's not on any kind of an angle. And the reason why I like to do that is when I'm drilling the hole for the hardware, this way the drill bit will be perfectly straight. Because if you go in on any kind of an angle, there's very little tolerance for where the hardware connects to the pull. So it's just one of those things that doesn't take much time, but definitely can save you a lot of time in the long run. You can see I've got a little green felt on the back of the jig, and that's so I don't scratch the paint on the drawer fronts. I've got all my drawers upstairs. We'll go upstairs and attach the drawer fronts to the drawers and then the hardware. Sorry if you hear that blower noise. That's my son Walter. He's doing yard work for me. So I've started the screws, and that means they're just protruding about 1/8 of an inch from the front of the drawer, and that will allow me to place the drawer front where it's supposed to go, and then I'll tighten up the screws, the 2 top screws, and then the 2 screws in the bottom. And I'm not tightening it completely with the impact gun because I don't want to strip the screw. So I'll get it pretty close and then just tighten it by hand. I'll start by putting the drill bit in the hole, let the block fall down. Now try not to drill all the way through the cabinet. After you've drilled down about 1 inch, use a piece of scrap wood and brace that hole. This will help to avoid tear out in the plywood. Now I do want to take a little time to talk about the finish on the bed and the steps it takes to get the painted finish. I talk about this on every cabinet build, but just in case you don't see those, it's pretty much always the same steps. But before that, I want to take a minute and talk about the drawer fronts, because the center drawer front is 1/4 of an inch smaller than the drawer fronts on the sides. And I wouldn't want you to get to this part of the build and be confused, because it's a pretty simple reason for it. So we'll bring the camera over and we'll take a look at the drawing and I'll try to explain. This is a drawing that represents the main cabinet, the footboard, and the headboard. The dividers in the cabinet are 1.5 inches wide. And so I want an inch space between drawers and 1 inch space between the edge of the drawer and where the leg starts. So the drawer front in the center of the cabinet has a 1/4 inch reveal, and the drawer front on the sides of the cabinet have a 1/4 inch reveal on the side by the center drawer and a 1/2 inch reveal on the side by the leg. And that gives you 1 inch reveal between the edge of the drawer and the leg and 1 inch reveal between the drawers. That makes the drawer front in the center 25 3/4 and the drawer fronts on the sides, 26. Now when I'm using the jig to center the drawer pull, I simply leave about an 1/8 inch reveal on the sides of the jig while I'm attaching it to the drawer front and drilling the holes. For the painted finish, it's basically the same steps on all of my painted projects. I fill all the nail holes with all-purpose joint compound. It's just really easy to use. It sands real easy. And then for a primer, I like Fresh Start by Benjamin Moore. There's probably other good primers out there. It just happens to be that Jaspin Hardware, it's my local hardware store, they're a Benjamin Moore dealer. So I will prime the whole cabinet with Fresh Start, and that will raise the grain and give the cabinet a very rough feel. And then I'll sand that down and vacuum up all the dust so there's no dust in the paint. And then for a finish coat, I use 2 coats of semi-gloss finish. This is a latex paint by Benjamin Moore, and the color is White Dove. So hopefully the next time I see you, I will be assembling the bed. I'm really looking forward to getting this project finished, launching the video, and starting the next project. So I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. For a behind-the-scenes look at projects and in-depth Q&As, check out my Patreon page. For helpful tips and to keep up with projects on a daily basis, follow me at my Instagram and Facebook. Links are in the description.